Okay, cool. So just running through the vocal, I'm gonna just show you the lead.
I just need your compound. Don't wanna see you frown.
We can go from there. So basically, you can see I've labeled it tuned there. I did go in like one or two places. Okay, not there. Let's use this as an example. There we go. So in Cubase, it kind of allows you to see the notes of the vocal, and you can actually physically adjust each note instead of auto tuning, which is sometimes a little bit robotic. This is a more natural way to tune. So I've got this happening and then a little bit of auto tune afterwards to tighten it up. But this is kind of my mode of treating the vocal in terms of pitch. I just manually shift the notes to where they need to be in the most natural way, and then stick a bit of auto tune on afterwards. Um, so you can see the only thing on the track itself in terms of effects is the auto tune. And you can see it's like, let's call that 75% in terms of the transition and the speed of the auto tuning. So quite a lot, but not extreme hip hop levels of tuning, just kind of tightening up. Um, Cutting off the low end sharply with that red filter there, but also a more smoother kind of tilt on the lows just to cut out the mud. Male vocals can get quite heavy, um, quite muddy, quite quick. So that's what that is. Then I've got the lead vocal channel going into this group, which is where the real treatment is happening. So I've got a de-esser just controlling the S and the T sounds because the vocalist was quite sibilant and quite sharp on those. So I needed to control those quite a bit. In fact, I've got another de-esser after the compression, which I'll show you.
Down for me, but you the one for me. I can hold you down. Don't wanna see you frown.
So you can see on the don't want to see, on the C, it's kind of ducking.
One for me, I can hold you down. Don't wanna see you frown.
Just a little bit there, a little bit of control. Removing some mud here with this multi-band compression. Just in this range here, let's say 90 to like 500-ish.
Down for me, you hold it down for me. Bet you the one for me. I can hold you down. Don't wanna see you frown.
So when he's singing a little bit more full and it's more chesty and stuff, that's kind of ducking out those frequencies, but it's responsive to, whatever he's doing at any one point in time. So it's not like permanently cutting that frequency range, it's sort of just compressing in that area when things get a little bit out of control there. And then I'm rolling off here to basically just kind of like control the S's and the sharper sounds, the high frequency stuff again, so that the vocal's not harsh in any way, and again, that's just in certain parts where the S's and the T's get kind of loud.
Don't wanna see you frown.
So you can see on C and the high frequencies on the F sound on frown, you know what I mean? Just tailing off there.
Don't wanna see you frown.
Yeah. So that's just control, controlling the lows on the EQ there, sending it into this group, controlling the S's, controlling the muddy stuff, more of the high frequency control, so that by the time I'm compressing, which is here, this is where the compression chain starts, I don't have any of the bullshit, any of the muddy like stuff, and none of the harsh sounds are being introduced to the compression. It's all been sorted out before it's going there. Obviously, compression's going to make everything louder, but we don't want it to make the shit stuff louder as well. We want it to be controlling a clean kind of signal, as clean as possible. So I got the LA2A, just controlling the vocal a little bit, going into an 1176.
You deserve a crown. When she walked, you got a bow.
So you can see the compression on the 1176 is way more aggressive than on here. This is just like controlling, basically. It's more of a leveler. So like when things get loud, like real loud here, this will just duck it a little bit so that by the time it hits this compressor, it's not, the waveform isn't too all over the place. Because I wanted to compress this quite a lot. As you can see, there's quite a bit of gain reduction. So I didn't want to hit this compressor with a signal that's too volatile all over the place,
My world sweet and never sour. No mindlela in Ameva. I still wanna see you now.
And you can hear the vocals quite controlled at that point already. It's quite, let's call it, you know, like even, you know.
No mindlela in Ameva. I still wanna see you now.
So we've got all the expressive stuff that he's doing without any of the bad things that it comes with. And then I've got this, which is another de-esser type plugin from Waves, which just kind of replaces the S sound with something a little bit more of a sh kind of thing. So more de-essing essentially, just to round off those high frequencies again.
Really gets too hard, you do it. Time for me.
So I guess time for me to, you know, handling that stuff there. Then I've got that group is then going into vocal bus, Vox bus, which is all the vocals are going through this bus. And there I have the G bus compressor.
You hold it down for me, but you the one for me. I can hold you down.
So now with this bus, like by the time all the backing vocals and all this stuff are here, they're all passing through this one bus. So this compressor is compressing the entire vocal group.
When she talk out to land, when she walk out Sugan, give me pause now we kumkani.
Just to give it a little bit more control, so you don't have the vocals sticking out and moving back and forth, you know. Control, control, control. Always controlling. Okay. More control, right. This is a limiter. So you see that boss or whatever he's saying there, how much gain reduction there is there. Now you wouldn't have heard that, but it's just like a leveling thing. I'm just limiting all of the vocal signal on those really loud parts, so that by the time I get to the master chain, there's no like mad jumping of levels and stuff. Another thing I did was to send the lead vocal signal into a track spacer plugin, which is on the instruments. I'm pretty sure I did that. Yeah, probably one of these instruments. Let's see. Okay, there it is. So the lead vocal is now ducking the frequencies out of the entire instrument group. All the strings, all the piano, everything.
You hold it down for me, but you the one for me. I can hold you down, don't wanna see you frown.
So basically, it's just so that it's carving out some room in the instruments, so that, you know, it's not fighting for space with the piano and the suitcase and all that. So, I mean, I've showed you that before, so I think you remember this whole concept from when I mixed the instrumental. And then effects-wise, I've got this reverb and ambient reverb is mostly on the instrumental itself. I did add a little bit in to the lead, I think. Yeah, there's a little bit of ambience there. So I'm adding like a similar, like just a touch of the reverb from the instrumental onto the vocal bus as well. And then I've got this lo-fi reverb here and the quarter note delays, which if you look at the lead vocal group, which is here, you can see I've automated so that the echo kind of comes in and out just to keep things interesting.
No mindlela in Ameva, I still wanna see you now.
So that now, you know. And then on these responses here,
talk out to land when she walk out Sugan.
You know, to land, you know, it's got that vibe going on. And yeah, that's literally everything I did. Over and above that, it's just a lot of level adjustments, some panning here and there on the harmonies, you know, that's 40 to the left, 40 to the right. On the all the backing vocal stuff, like the doubles,
don't wanna see you frown.
You can hear there's like a stereo spread there. I'm using this Waves doubler plugin to kind of give me that spread and that sort of wavy, like thickness, haziness, whatever you want to call it. And this fresh air plugin, which is really cool. It just adds some high frequency brightness to those backings. The reason I pan those and make them sound a bit phased out and doubled is because I don't want them to compete with the lead. So if you listen to the lead vocal compared to those doubles, you'll hear the lead is like smack bang in the middle, and then these doubles are kind of a little bit wider on the side.
Don't wanna see you frown. Kumgani kazi when below me say you deserve a crown. When she walk, you gotta bow.
You know, so it's like it's not some like these backings aren't taking anything away from the lead. They're just adding like a blanket around it, behind it. But the lead vocals still very much there. And I've got your tuned these backups here,
Na 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 na.
which I put a lot of reverb on, and it's they are kind of spread. I think they're panned left and right, and I tried to just cut out like the lows again, just to make them not so heavy and lighter. Like I wanted all these backings to be behind, like background, just supporting that one lead track. Yeah, cool. So that's everything. I hope that gives you an overview of the process and stuff. Cool.